time we start recording, someone pops up. So, oh, she's leaving. Come on, Jesus. We are coming at you today with a whole type of different episode. So, Coffee with Coco, first of all, is not a podcast about coffee. This is really like having coffee with us, like having your cup of tea, your cup of coffee with us, and us just having real authentic conversation. But because we have a coffee business and we love coffee, it's one of the things that brings...
We married the two.
Yeah, we married the two, and it brings us together, it brings other people together. So the fact that we're able to make these connections over coffee is pretty dope. But today it is about coffee.
It is.
We had a chance to sit with the only instructor here in our area who teaches everything coffee.
It was crazy. We were actually driving down the street and just looking for different coffee shops, right? To maybe go into, speak to managers, just let ourselves be known. And as we were passing by, I glanced over and saw this sign. So we made a stop somewhere else and then came back to that shop. I knew it was about to be a good thing because like her face lit up. Like her excitement went from like 0 to 100, like easily. Just us pulling up to a place, you know, unknowingly, it was a place she had already looked up and was already aware of. And I don't think it was really by accident. I think it was more so, you know, just a God thing.
I do
for
too.
sure. Like how God allowed us to be driving by, because I never looked that way, and we've driven that way before. And
we always go that way.
It was pretty cool that all of a sudden that sign, and that sign is not huge.
Right. And it wasn't the name of the place.
No, it wasn't.
It just said coffee on it.
Yeah.
And it was little, so it wasn't like one of those big ones. It was one that was kind of close to the ground, maybe like this, and it said coffee. But there was so much other stuff there that could have been distracting. So it's so crazy that his eyes went directly to it.
I think that was a blessing. And we were supposed to see that, because that really, for me, that changed the day for me. Like that really was a moment where my love for what we do went to a whole nother level. It gave me the science behind what we do, and that took my love for it and my passion for it to a whole nother level. So I was grateful for the ability to see that and to be led that way that day.
I don't know if it was 2 months ago or a month and a half ago, but I was looking online, just, you know, random. There's some dreams that I have about this journey. I really would love to get in culinary school and kind of combine food and coffee and what that looks like and what pairs with what. So just one day I was on there looking up schools, and I ran up on that school. But then I started looking at, you know, the cost and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? We can't pour into that now. We need to pour into the business. So I feel like it's, pour. I feel like it's divine timing. That was God to me saying that he heard me. Like he saw what I was doing, because that in itself was an act of faith. Even if I couldn't afford to pay for the class, he was like, you know what? I'm going to get you into the door anyway. So I think it was all on purpose. It really was, because while we were out there, I was getting a little discouraged, because a little bit. You never can see it, right? Because I just move. Like if I feel like God is saying move, I'm gonna move. Yeah. So we were out there looking for a coffee shop who would take our coffee, but we made a phone call. The way that the phone call went, it just there was nothing there. And you know when you're new, if they don't know you, they treat you a little different. Yeah. So I was a little discouraged by that. And then we ended up going to another location, and the person wasn't there. It was kind of good, not good. And I was just like, man. So we were just like, okay, let's circle back, go to that place. So when we parked in the back, we couldn't even see that it was a school. It was kind of... You couldn't. It was like a back parking lot. Yeah. So I was like, where are we at?
It was a hidden gem, to be honest.
It really was.
Yeah.
So when we parked, we got out the car, and right when we walked around that corner, which you'll see on the video, is the school. Mm-hmm. And I looked at him like, this is the school. Like, this is the place. So when we walked in there, we met Miss Sylvia. And I could tell, just a beautiful woman. Beautiful woman. She had on some Converse like I did. Y'all know I love Converse. But we just walked in, and at first she was a little,
apprehensive, yeah.
which I get. But as we talked to her more, she let us like interview her, and then it went even beyond that because we actually had a real conversation, and she just talked about her passion in it and why she's doing it. And then, like he said, she started explaining the science behind roasting coffee beans. Like, she is just this woman full of knowledge.
Yeah.
Full of knowledge. And this is knowledge that you probably have to pay thousands to get.
Yeah.
But she welcomed us. And I was like, man, this is what community is about. This is why we do what we do. It's not just about coffee. It's about hearing people. Because she has a story to tell. And I was like, people need to hear your story. Yeah. So it was just...
She's phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
I love the fact that she was in love with what she does. Like, the greats tend to find an obsession for what they love. Like the Michelangelos, the Picassos, the Malcolm X's, like all of them. They found a love for what they were doing. And so you can tell that she really loves her craft. Like, and she's not doing it just because it's a paycheck, or she's not just doing it because it's a hobby. No, it's really her artwork. It's really her gift to humanity. And when you find people like that, you want to connect with them. You want to continuously be connected to those people because those people's, their heart are pure in that genre of whatever they're doing. Their heart is pure. So her heart is amazingly pure. It is amazingly pure for coffee, for the art of coffee, for the science of coffee, the history of coffee. Like, just anything coffee, I would go to her about. Like, she's truly amazing in that way. And she's a gem to the coffee community. And, like she said, like, what we do is, like, yes, we have a coffee business, but our coffee business is really about your story. It's really about opening conversations. It's really about, the heart of whatever it is that needs to be dealt with. The art of our coffee is to produce conversation that will produce healing, that will produce restoration, that will produce a civil rights movement if it has to. Like, coffee is just that. We're kind of finding that and tuning it to our voice and to our pitch and sound. What's that movie? Brown Sugar. When you fall in love with hip hop. It's kind of like we're having that moment with coffee. When you fall in love with coffee. That's what I want you guys to know. That whenever we get on here and we're talking, join us with your cup of coffee.
Miss Sylvia, before we play this, we just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
We will see you again soon. You are part of our family as well.
Miami.
We are here at the Barista Academy, going inside to check it out. Your girl wants to take some classes. They have courses here to basically teach you how to become a coffee connoisseur. It might be closed, babe.
Is it?
I don't know.
The San Antonio Coffee Festival, which this is one of the cups, all right, from one of the years, and every year they will more than likely feature a different cup, and they sell it there at the event. And so the founder and I, we decided, we should really focus on all coffee shops becoming united, not competitive. Competition is good, and don't get me wrong, but to know that we want a tight community. We're pretty big. We are coming up with more and more coffee businesses. The coffee festival, back to that, it's once a year, and the whole purpose is to have individuals come, gather, enjoy coffee. All the coffee roasters that we can get to participate, the better. And so it's already grown to about 30 roasters that that's their thing. They're going to be there, and we keep getting new ones.
Right.
Well, since I'm the only coffee school in San Antonio.
You
Really?
are. I was going to ask that question. Okay.
We have the same vision.
Right.
You know, the founder of the Coffee Festival and I. This past year, the festival was having about 10,000 people
Wow.
that went through there. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. We will definitely be in the next one. I wish we would have known beforehand.
And so we have some free workshops.
Okay.
And so we shared 30 minutes of fame with different folks that want to participate. It can be a roaster, it can be a vendor. Some go and they sell their product, their coffee beans, their latte, or they just want to do a pour over and, you know, and just, you know, perhaps sell their coffee that way.
Right.
All kinds of products. A lot of my students that have come for their, you know, their training to open a coffee shop,
Right.
okay, or a coffee truck,
Mm.
or
Will be
a coffee catering business, or just coffee pop-ups.
Right.
They come here,
Okay.
and I will invite them to the festival, and they participate, and then now you have these folks. They either come to learn more for their home, okay? They come for, well, I want to be a professional barista, I want to change my trade, I want a new trade just because. And then of course, you know, the business owners that come through. I just never know.
Yeah.
They call, they want to come, I have them come in, and I do one-on-one training usually.
Okay.
And so unless it's a team, okay, and these folks are gonna work with me, work for
Right.
me, I want, it's a husband and wife thing, whatever, then okay, then we work that way. Everyone has different needs.
Right.
Everyone has their own dynamic.
Right.
And it's great to help those that want that dynamic but don't know how,
Exactly.
and they get everything here, the whole package.
It sounds like it's personalized to that coffee brand or that coffee shop.
Oh yeah.
And I love that.
I take on everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And when they walk out of here, they are going to accomplish what they want.
Right.
I do teach individually. I don't normally have a formed classroom unless it's for a business. Let's say one of the school districts, NEISD,
Right.
okay, or SAISD, and they want me to teach some of the adult classes.
Right.
And so in that case, yes, I probably will have a few people, either on Zoom,
Yeah.
something like that, or in person.
Like that.
I offer all my students, irregardless if it's home or just a career or a coffee shop, that if they have any questions or they need anything, just call me, text me. I'll always be here as long as I'm alive.
Yes. So my next question is, how long have you been up and running?
8 years.
What are you passionate about when it comes to coffee? Like, why did you choose this route?
Well, I'm a little crazy. I like things like that.
Right.
You know, I went from corporate telecommunications, and I just decided, you know, I've had enough. If I can make millions of dollars for this corporation, I can do something for myself.
Right.
And so I just did, and so I became a business in general business consulting, and that's how everything just kind of started coming at me.
Right.
So I helped the city of Windcrest. I helped a university, which is our Lake University, and a doctor that wanted to open their own music academy. I started making my famous sandwiches, and the adults kept coming for lunch. So we grew a lunch crowd. And so, you know, the doctor's going, what's going on? Oh, well, we can erase it all. No, let's build it. Okay.
Is there any nugget that you have for maybe someone starting up a business or someone who is a coffee enthusiast and just wants to take the leap and say, you know what, I want to share this with everybody else? You got something for us?
Wow,
Because you have dropped a lot of gems, so I'm like, you gotta have some more.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Any gem that is placed on your heart.
The fact is that I enjoy sharing the love. Okay, spiritually, in every which way, but mainly spiritually. And so this is a way too for me to be able to do that. Because your heart gets heavy carrying around all this love. You got to share it.
Yes.
I share this with them. So I will tell you that we will learn how to listen. I will teach you to listen. In order to do this job and do it well and prosper from it, you have to learn how to listen. So we're going to do a lot of that. Okay? We're going to assume nothing. And we're not going to think while we're here.
Oh, that's so good.
To me, that's how I share the spiritual part of love. And so when we get to it, at first, they're not thinking about it, but they're just kind of waiting. Okay, what is she going to do next? Okay.
Right.
But they're listening. Okay? It's amazing. Yes.
I love it.
I see a need and I have to help. And that's how I came here, to this space. Not necessarily location, but within myself.
Right.
Yeah.
And I realized I'm about helping people. That's why I decided to do the consulting.
Right.
And no, it's not for the money. No. It's truly, I want everybody to have something that they're proud of, something that they're having a good time doing, something that is educational, that they can pass on, okay? And keep passing it on.
Thank you for this interview with Coffee with Coco. You literally just had coffee with us. We serve coffee, but we also serve conversation. Y'all know that.
Grooming. And what it does, it takes the bubbles, okay, and it breaks them down, so you get more of a creamy look.
This is so good. So I hope you got something from the video with Miss Sylvia. It's really about community, not just coffee, but the art of coffee and the art of conversation and the art of following your dream. We want to end this podcast by talking about some big news that we just had this week. Was it this week?
Yes.
This week. You want to roll with that?
So earlier when she was like pour into whatever she was saying, right? I started laughing because I was like, pour. Interesting. Our big news came this week when a beautiful soul, owner of the Pour Box, right? An amazing woman, Miss Desiree. Like we love you. In our meeting, we got the opportunity to meet her family and learn a little bit how her business operates. And it was the first meeting that I've been in that I felt like a presence. Like I felt that we're just ordinary people, but we want to do business with you.
Right.
In that, I want you to get to know me and how I do business. Like her family was there. They made us coffee. They fed us. And before we left, that I think either right before we left or as we left, I told you, I said, this made me change the way I do business meetings. Because just her whole setup is really family oriented, and I was super impressed by that. It fueled hope and vision for what we have to come. So I was super happy to be a part of that meeting and to have been able to just walk into that space.
Well, I want to piggyback on what he said about Miss Desiree. Like he said, the alignment of it all. Like you always can tell when it's a God thing because you don't have to do much. Not saying that we didn't do anything, because of course we're working.
Right.
We're working, but when you're you know, a lot of times we fight to get in the door of stuff. Like, we want these titles and we want promotions and we'll do anything for money. Like, everybody is out here grinding and breaking their necks. But when it's a God thing, it seems like he just makes it flow like this. And I love, like, I had to sit back and reflect on it, because I told you at the beginning of this, like 2 months ago, I had seen that school. But when we saw that school, we were out looking for a coffee shop. But we were looking, but we weren't getting received. Miss Desiree came to us.
Yeah, that was different.
Like the way it swung back around, and she just said, "Hey, I would love to try your coffee." And I was like, "Oh yeah, we would love to give you a sample of it." There was nothing that made me feel like, I don't know about this woman.
No.
The way that she served her family, the way she served us, the way she serves the community.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wow. I felt that. Like, it didn't feel like a coffee shop. Like, the visions that I have about our business, I don't want it to feel like a business. I want people to come in and feel like family. And that's exactly what she did. She served us like we were already family. Right. To see the things that she's doing in the community, she gives books to the kids, she feeds the homeless, she makes coffee for the homeless, she's dropping gems. Her and her daughters, like, they are out there.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? These are the type of people that we need to be aligned in business with, but also as family. So I'm floored. Yeah. I'm not floored surprised, because God always shows up like this, but I'm just like, wow, what was I stressing for? Why was I stressing?
The way she does give back to the community, that's ministry, right? Yeah. Like, that's a God thing. Like, feeding those who don't have it, giving to those who need, even the conversation to some of the individuals that she spoke to and mentioned while we were there. People need that, you know? People really need that. And so, like, that taught me that there is ministry within the business. So I was really happy to see that.
Ms. Desiree, we want to thank you for welcoming us.
Yeah.
Our coffee is now part of the Pour Box Coffee Shop. So look, we are happy. God has truly blessed us. We just hope to be an example to the community, continue to bring family. We have so much vision behind this. So yeah, just keep us in prayer. I will, of course, be tagging the Pour Box. If you are in the local area, please stop by there. She makes the best coffee. Ooh. So please stop by there. Not just for the coffee, but
the experience.
The experience, the community, right. You will love her. Shout out to BBSA. These are our cups that we got the last night of Black Business Week.
Done by Miss Annette.
Miss Annette, yes. Miss Annette created these. I'm definitely going to tag her in the video, just so, for all your marketing needs. She's amazing, and she's a very sweet woman.
Tap in.
I want to tag Miss Sylvia, but she doesn't have a social media.
Know, right?
So instead, I will put the link to her school on there. If you have questions, I am so sure that she will answer and respond back to you. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I have. I told you I was going to be a different type today. We thank you so much. We love you. Thank you for sipping coffee and speaking truth with us. And we will see you next week.